Before we jump in, a quick heads up. The opinions and stories shared by my guest are theirs, not necessarily mine. I'm a beauty enthusiast who loves bringing you new voices and ideas, but all thoughts, advice, and information you hear on the Beauty Biz Show podcast belong solely to the guest. And remember, nothing on this show is meant to replace professional or legal guidance. Now, let's dive into the good stuff. Welcome to the Beauty Biz Show. I'm your host, Lori Crete, a career-loving esthetician and beauty entrepreneur on a mission to empower fellow estheticians. If you are a solo or small business owning esthetician and you enjoy this podcast and curious about how we can work together, visit beautybizclub.com for mentorship and essential business growth tools. If you're looking to boost your retail sales and elevate client care, check out my line of luxury spa wraps and headbands at spastar.net. Now, join me as I bring you inspirational messages from beauty industry experts and practical tips to help you achieve beauty biz success. Get ready for some serious beauty biz entertainment. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Beauty Biz Show. I am your host, Lori Crete, and today I have Ida. And Ida, I don't want to mess up your last name. Will you pronounce it for me?
Chorney.
Chorney. Ida Chorney. And she's just back from Las Vegas. And in case you don't know, which I feel like everybody does, you just left the Vegas show, formerly known as IE, now Be+Well. And it's where thousands of estheticians gather to learn, to shop, to connect. Before we dive in, Ida, let's just tell everyone where you're located and what your beauty biz looks like.
Yeah, hi everybody. So I'm located in Denver, Colorado, and I've been a licensed SD since 2019. I started my business fresh out of school, and it's called Glow with Ida, and it's right here in Denver in an area called Cherry Creek.
So Ida is a fellow Vermont girl, which I was so excited for the show. I never get to hang out with Vermont girls. So
I know.
It's cool to have you here. I want to dive in, but first of all, I did not know you started in 2019.
Yeah.
What month?
Interesting time.
Yeah.
I started in March of 2019.
Okay, so probably just long enough to get some momentum going, and then a year in, you had to shut down. How long were you shut down in Denver or Colorado?
Yeah, so we weren't technically closed for that long. I think it was probably 2 or 3 weeks where everything was absolutely closed. But, I was just growing my clientele, just starting my business. So talk about having some doubts about whether I made the right decision. Because it was just a crazy time. I mean, there were times I remember where it was mandated where the client had to keep their mask on from when they came into the door until they got on the treatment bed, and then they could take their mask off.
I don't know who made these rules up, but looking back now, I wish I would have just been a little more bold and gone to work earlier. I was almost a year and a half out of work.
Which is crazy.
Crazy. Are you still in the same location that you were in pre-COVID?
I am. So I got this location. It's kind of an older building, but it's like a wellness center. So there's other estheticians in the building, and there's 4 separate suites. There's some therapists, there's like a laser specialist, there's some girls that do lashes. So it's kind of like this wellness collective, but it's definitely an older building. But in the last year, 2 years, my landlord has done a ton of renovations for us. So it's nice and updated now. And it's great because I kind of grandfathered in with the rent. So it's a good location. We have parking, which is huge. And we're kind of next to this little park area, so it's very like zen and kind of in a busy area, but just feels really like you can just exhale when you come inside. So it's a
I
great
was looking at
location.
your website and your location, and it reminds me there's this artist district in Palm Springs, and it's right by my car dealership. And I always walk through the area and I go, this would be the coolest place for like beauty collab business. And
Yeah.
it looks just like yours. It's almost like an old motel-y looking thing, right? Like everyone walks from their outside into the suite area.
Yeah, it's definitely like a mid-century modern building, and I'm glad we've done updates because there was some like original carpeting in some of the suites and stuff like that that it's just we've ripped out pretty much the entire inside. So it's like nice and bright and great on the inside now. So it's a cool building.
Well, thank you for coming on today. I guess we should tell everyone, I don't know when we first met. I feel like we really started connecting and talking and chatting at the Sorella Apothecary Summit last year. Was that 2025?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did we meet before that, like at the Sorella booth or something, maybe?
Yeah, I think we've just kind of met in passing a couple of times, and I've been following your work for a long time. And then, yeah, we really connected at the Sorella Summit, and that's when I joined the Beauty Biz Club too.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to
Yeah.
have you in there and representing us when you're out and about in the industry. So, uh, I want to know inside the Beauty Biz Club, one of the biggest questions that we got asked was, you guys, if you were at the Vegas show, give us a scoop. And not a lot of people have gone in there. I didn't get to go this year, and I'll tell everyone why, because Jay, my significant other, plans our travel. Like he's just my travel agent and he does a really good job at it. And this year I was going to go do a demo of my oil cleanse at Sorella Apothecary. So Jay mapped the whole thing out. I had talked to Emily a few times, and then I heard him in his office say the F word really loud.
Oh no.
I go, what? I thought we were having an earthquake or something. And he's like, I booked the wrong weekend. So I actually ended up in Las Vegas a week before the show and worked out. I ended up getting sick and I ended up in Vegas manifesting my biggest jackpot ever. So everything happens for a reason, but I'm excited for you to fill me in on the scoop. So I guess
Totally.
as we dive in, tell me what your show setup looks like. You go there and you are part of the Sorella Apothecary ambassador team.
Yeah, so I'm a Sorella Apothecary ambassador now, which is kind of like falls under the umbrella of just educating for Sorella. So when we go to the shows, we don't really do much of like the actual physical setup of the booth. They have that like dialed in like a well-oiled machine. So it's one of the things that I think is so great about Sorella is like they are really boots on the ground still. Like it's Emily and Chuck, the owners, literally they're setting things up. But so we get to kind of come in the next day, usually like the night before the show starts, and my Sorella family is just I love them. It's one of the most special parts about going to the shows. Like I got to room with my SD bestie this time, which was so fun in Vegas. And so we always like go out for dinner that night, just kind of like reconnect, get to see everyone in person, and then yeah, we work the shows and essentially, like as ambassadors, we're there to demo products, educate potential partners and new estheticians on the products. So we're selling products too, but usually I'm in charge of demos. So we have like 4 facial beds set up, and we're doing 45-minute mini facials. Which I guess 45 minutes is not really that mini of a facial. It's like pretty involved. And the idea is to get potential partners on the demo beds so they can really experience the products, feel everything, and we can educate as we go. And just kind of talk to them about what it is to be a Sorella partner and Yeah, and then afterwards, it's one of the cool things about doing facials at the show is it's this super hectic, chaotic environment, and you can really like people fall asleep and you're just like, how are you sleeping in this crazy convention center? But it's really cool. And then as soon as they get off the table, they're just like, wow, my skin looks so good. And it's really cool to be able to do that in a trade show environment.
It's
Yeah.
not. I tell estheticians all the time, people will go, well, it's so expensive to go to a trade show. It's so expensive to travel. I'm like, call your skincare line. Maybe they would want you to come support them at their booth. I've done it for microcurrent companies. I always try to support Sorella. And they do have just a spectacular booth. You really feel like you're at an apothecary. They do a great job with it. And it is kind of like an adult slumber party. You get to go hang out with
Yeah.
and one of your bestie SDs and all that good stuff. So tell me a little bit, like walking away from the show this year, what was your overall vibe? Phil, for all of us that have FOMO that didn't get to go, what was your
Yeah.
overall vibe?
Well, I think like a lot of brands have been talking about how the overall show was a little bit slower, which, you can kind of see that from this more negative lens. But really, what that meant was that we could take more time having conversations when there were people in the booth, and we could take more time with the demos. And so that it just made the conversations more meaningful, honestly. And because we weren't just like crazy rushing from person to person. And so it was really inspiring. And I think one thing that I've noticed throughout this entire trade show season is there's so many more estheticians going solo, whether they're in school right now and that's their plan, or they are working for a spa and they want to start their own thing. There's just a lot of entrepreneurship and it's really inspiring. And I think there's a lot of space for guidance from, solo business owners that are currently in business to help these newer estheticians, or even seasoned estheticians that just want to make that jump. Um, and so it's really exciting. So overall, I thought this whole trade show season and Vegas it's been really inspiring.
I've been doing this for 26 years. And I will say that I think it's almost a better experience if the trade show floor isn't packed. I remember when I first started going to trade shows, we would go all 3 days. And as an attendee, part of the reason that we did this is because it took like 2 hours just to get next to the morph brush booth because so many people were there. So if you have these brands that have more individual attention to pay to the attendee, that's a good thing. I mean, maybe not if you're running the show and you want the financials to look a little different, but as an attendee, it's a good thing, you know?
Yeah, well, even like as someone working, I did have a little more opportunity just to walk around the floor, see some of like my heroes just out and about and just kind of like gauge the show a little bit better. So for myself and for Sorella, I think that was beneficial.
I didn't even think about that. When I used to work the NeuroTrust microcurrent booth, I never stopped doing demos for 3 days. The only time I got to see anything was like, I remember there was a booth next to us doing lash lifts when they first came out on the market. And I'm like, can I just have 10 minutes? I have to see what a lash lift is. So I want to know, was there anything you saw this year that was new and exciting? Like, are there any innovations? We go through periods of innovations and periods of it's the same old stuff, but we're there to gather, information about it.
One thing that I've personally been really interested in, and it's not super new, but there's more of them coming out. And just as AI kind of just obviously gets more complex and more intelligent, are these facial analyzer machines. And I noticed a lot of booths were using them at their booth to kind of demonstrate the efficacy of their products or their device. So that was interesting, but I'm also interested in investing in one for my practice. And I know like Visia was kind of the first big brand to introduce this device to the market. Now there's a lot. So I was just kind of like interested in sort of seeing the differences between some of them, and the price difference is really big now. So I think it's very interesting, but I think it's a tool that is really beneficial for brands, but also solo estheticians, spas, like everyone can use these to really demonstrate the efficacy of their treatments, their products to their clients. So I thought those are really cool.
Inside the Beauty Biz Club, you met Deidre at our live event in Bozeman.
Mhm.
She brought hers to the last live here in Palm Desert, and everyone went to their Airbnb. So if you have any questions, ask her. She's really been helpful in
Yeah, I
educating
will.
estheticians from like real life in the treatment room experience. So tag her. I'm sure she'll be happy to answer any questions for you.
Yeah, cool.
So I have like, we kind of have a little script that we're following here. I'm going to dive into the next question because I want to know the answer to this. If you had to describe the overall energy, because energy is contagious, and I think that it's quite often overlooked, but what we put out, our clients pick up. And I'm just curious, what is the overall energy of estheticians at the show? 3 words. If you had 3 words to describe the vibes you were picking up from other estheticians, what would they be?
I think resiliency is a big one. Um, curious, curiosity, and independent. Like I was saying, like I just feel this sense of independency of just kind of breaking out from the mold and doing their own thing. And yeah, also that the resiliency is definitely a strong vibe. Like these estheticians, they want to help people with their skin and they're not going to let anything stop them. And I think it's really inspiring.
So that leads us into the next question that I'm curious about. After having the opportunity to talk to so many estheticians, what do you think they're struggling with the most right now? If they're embodying resilience, it has to be because it's coming from a place of struggle that they're
Right,
powering through.
right. I think overarching, it's confidence, right? Like confidence to raise their prices, confidence to niche down, um, confidence to show up on social media in these ways that are kind of required of us these days. Confidence to stop trying to please everyone, and just to trust in themselves. So I'm not sure where that kind of like struggle develops from, but I think that's kind of and in a way, it's positive too, right? Because it's, like, powering them to be resilient. But I do think, yeah, confidence is a big one.
I'll tell you, and I just did a members only podcast for the Beauty Biz Club that is dropping this Thursday. But when you're speaking, I'm over here taking notes. And I think where the struggle comes from right now is an overload of opportunity. And most people aren't looking at it that way. I keep hearing on repeat, and this is what I talk about this week. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. And I'm like, what if you just change the language around that? And you go,
Yeah.
this is just an overload of opportunity. And what a beautiful place and industry to be in, where I get to pick and choose what opportunities I want and who I want to be. So it's a lack of clarity and an overload of opportunity. And hopefully my words that I just shared can help somebody go, oh my goodness, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. Who do I want to be and what do I want to deliver? And I think that instills confidence.
Yeah.
Would you say it's confidence like in that area, who I want to be, or confidence in delivering results, or both?
I think it's both. I think it's both. And I actually think what you're saying kind of relates to another question you had here. But, you know, I think especially for newer estheticians or maybe that are more towards the beginning of their career, because there is so much opportunity and because everything is so available to us, it's really easy to compare your chapter one to somebody else's chapter 10 and think, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. But really, there's so much history that is before that other person's chapter 10 that you're not seeing. You're just seeing, usually via social media, where they are now. And I think that comparison just kind of can break down your confidence.
All somebody's social media is their highlight reel. I don't care who you are. Everyone has their good days, their bad days, their struggles, their, happy moments, their proud moments. So overwhelm. It's weird. I was telling Jay that when I used to go to the show, and this is part of the reason I think the show is not as busy. When I used to go, that's the only place I could buy cotton rounds. Right? Like how the decisions have changed. And now you're talking about AI and skin scanners. And like, there's a lot of decisions to be made. And yeah, don't compare yourself. If you guys listening and I could give you any advice, don't compare yourself to somebody's social media reel, please, because it's all about stepping into it, communicating, cultivating an experience, and keep showing up and doing it over and over again. That's how we build these successful businesses. And you're right. There's different chapters. I used to teach, and I have at the live before, you should have 3 types of people in your life: a positive, a plus, a minus, and an equal. The plus is somebody who's ahead of you where you want to be. The minus is somebody that's not where you want to be, but that you can help. And then the equal is somebody you can spar with. They're in the same place as you. And I think if you can fulfill and have those 3 types of estheticians in your life as an esthetician, you do start to realize, hey, this is a pretty cool career. And I don't have to feel envious of what somebody else has, because there are so many different levels of success.
Totally.
Just a quick message, and then we're jumping right back into the episode. Many of you know this already, but I've been looking for a new assistant manager, one that supports my esthetician life and my treatment room life. And today, I get to share something that genuinely lights me up. I found my new treatment room assistant manager, and it's going to surprise you when you find out who I chose to support me while I'm working on clients. It's a new to me all-in-one platform for scheduling, payments, marketing, and much more. And it really feels like it was made for small business estheticians. It's called Gloss Genius, and I'm officially obsessed. First, it's designed to help build an aesthetics brand. I believe in support that feels elevated and luxurious because this helps us stand out. And Gloss Genius nails this. Second, it's actually really easy to use for you and for your clients. No clunky menus, no confusion, no where do I click next? None of these moments. Clients don't have complicated logins just to book an appointment. It's just smooth, smart design that works with ease. Third, every feature purposefully helps your business grow, whether it's rebooking to bring a client back in, or low payment processing rates that help you actually keep more of your money that you earn. This platform never stops looking out for you. And you know how rare that is in our industry? It's so refreshing to see a company who actually understands the margins that beauty businesses have to work with. But here's what really sealed the deal for me. Gloss Genius was founded by 2 powerhouse sisters who are deeply passionate about helping entrepreneurs thrive. They're committed to innovation, education, and helping our businesses grow while cutting out the stress that comes along with it. Their whole mission is to help beauty biz owners grow with technology that empowers us instead of overwhelms us. And honestly, you can feel their heart in every feature. And trust me, I get it. Switching platforms can feel intimidating, but Gloss Genius makes the process simple and possible. So if you've been looking for a business software that is gorgeous, client-friendly, and built by people who respect and advocate for beauty and wellness entrepreneurs, this is it. I'm thrilled to welcome Gloss Genius as part of the Beauty Biz Show, and even more excited for you to experience what I've found: a fresh start, a powerful platform to help you grow, and a company that truly gets us. If your business is ready for next level, Gloss Genius is waiting for you. Because when your systems support you, you get to focus on the beauty that you're here to create. So click the link in the show notes or the link in my Instagram bio at Lori_BeautyBiz to learn more and use my code BeautyBizShow to experience your first 2 months of Premier Tier for half off.
What would you say, maybe we've already covered this, but do you have anything else to add? Considering every single event has its highs and lows, this is back to the Vegas show, what moments made you feel like it was worth attending for an esthetician? Highs and lows.
There was one conversation that I had with a gentleman from California, and he works in the nonprofit space. He's done all sorts of corporate jobs, and he's been an esthetician for a few years, and he does already have his solo practice, but he's wanting to leave the corporate world, wanting to leave the nonprofit space and just focus on being an esthetician. So he was seriously looking for a skincare brand to bring into his practice and primarily use. And he got a demo, and his energy was just so lovely. And I could just tell this person is an incredible esthetician. You could just tell when someone takes care of other people.
Yeah.
And he afterwards, and we had been chatting before too, just about Sorella and all the things and how he was enjoying the show. And afterwards, he got up and he was just like, out of all the jobs I've ever done and out of all the career paths I've ever had, this is the most supportive community I've ever been a part of. And that just so stood out to me because, and that was that is why we do these events. That's why these trade shows are so important, because you can watch on YouTube, you can buy products online, but there's nothing that's ever going to replace in-person conversation and connection like that.
Yeah.
And there's no way that you're really going to feel supported like that unless you're in a room with someone getting a facial from them. I mean, no other industry really has that. So that, I think I started crying. It was very impactful.
I know, I love that. And I also think, that's kind of, I don't want to call it a trend, but it's a newer segment of our industry. I bet you when I became an esthetician, I knew 2 male estheticians. And now I see that piece of our industry really growing. And did you say he's found it to be a little more challenging?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we talked a lot about his challenges and, again, that confidence to leave his full-time job in the nonprofit space and really just focus on esthetician life. So,
well, I hope he joins the Beauty Biz Club. We can help get him there.
I hope so too. I'm going to follow up with him for sure.
Awesome. So now I'm going to move on to page 3 of our little notes here. So we're on the same page, literally.
Okay.
But what products and treatments had the biggest crowds? Was there a booth that was just packed all day long? I kept seeing a lot of, oh my God, I'm certified in the acne, and I swear I have COVID brain.
Face reality.
I kept seeing a lot of face reality booth exposure on social media. Did you happen to step by that booth and see if they were packed all day long?
Yeah, face reality always does really well. I mean, I think that acne is a big sector, that a lot of people struggle with acne. It's a lot of estheticians majority of their business. So Face Reality does a really wonderful job with just niching down to acne care that's more accessible to all the everyone's clients. They also do a great job with collabing. Like Douglas Preston was at the Face Reality booth, I think the whole weekend doing extraction demos. So and their marketing is really, really great, and their booth is beautiful. So they're definitely always busy.
Were there any other booths where you saw just lots of crowds?
Well, you know what's funny? The Skin Games always has like a big crowd.
I think she makes it fun. Like she's
Yeah.
probably like she has I think it was Vegas last year. She had the spinning roulette wheel where you could
hmm
go win fun things and
Yeah, and they were like speed waxing underarms and like judging it. So there were always like a lot of people at that booth, which
high
is fun.
energy.
Yeah, high energy for sure. Very Vegas too, kind of like fits the vibe. But I also think like an overarching trend that I've just noticed at the shows, especially in Vegas, I think it's just really top of mind right now is regenerative skincare in the form of exosomes, stem cells, peptides are really just popular. Like they are kind of buzzwords right now, but I think they have staying power. So like ProCell had a big booth with a pretty big crowd the whole time. Plated is getting a lot of attention right now. Factor 5 is another one that got a lot of attention. So I love to see that because I think it's a great trend in the way that skincare is going.
Oh yeah, it's like between appointments, it's your power tool as an esthetician. You send them home with the right thing. I don't know much about it, but a friend of mine had her whole décolleté burnt by a laser. It was awful. Like if
Yeah.
I sent you the picture, it would hurt your heart and your soul as an esthetician. But they put her on plated the one of the serums and zero scars, and she has olive pigment. I thought, oh my God, she's in trouble. Like it was bubbly oozing. And is that what they're really supposed to do? Just like the power of healing for the skin and repair?
Yes, and yes, so it's all exosome serums. So in different forms, there's like an eye serum, two different skin serums. They just came out with a body serum. They have a hair serum as well, but it's all just healing regenerative. So it really addresses every single skin concern from like fine lines, wrinkles, pigment, redness, hair growth. Um, but it's incredible post procedure too. They were telling me that they had someone that did a CO2 laser 10 days ago and was using plated and was at the show and you like couldn't tell.
So what is the difference? Do you know this? Because I really don't. Um, what is the difference between a peptide and an exosome?
So they're different extractions. They're all like different, derived from different sources. So there's like stem cells, which can be derived from human bone marrow, like cytokine stem cells. And then like plated they're platelet derived exosomes. And they all kind of do different things. So like exosomes, and I'm not a super scientist, so I don't totally understand this, but exosomes have been described to me as like they're messages in a bottle, and the bottle is the exosome. So they basically deliver messages to your other cells to repair themselves, which is kind of like the same thing that peptides and stem cells do. They're all just different.
I need to take a dive into it because somebody was asking me on social media and I go, I don't know enough to answer this question right now. My goodness. So let's dive into, well, that's what you just said. I was going to ask you what you thought had staying power, but it's all of these ingredients that are highly active and, becoming educated in those and what they do. And again, it probably goes back to knowing your niche.
hmm Yeah, and I just think I love how we're discovering these new ingredients that are regenerative to the skin without compromising the skin barrier, without having to do a super deep peel or like super deep laser, or even microneedling can be a little bit more superficial if you're using the right ingredients with it, and you can get similar results to what in the past we've done more aggressive treatments.
Did you bring anything new home with you to do in your treatment room that kind of takes it next level?
Well, I did. I brought on plated actually to my practice like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And they just came out with a new body product that I literally cannot wait to get my hands on. And I'm trying to think, I don't think I brought anything back with me from the show, but I'm very much thinking about the skin analyzer machine. That's going to be my next purchase.
Awesome. So let's talk. Well, we kind of did already, but let's wrap up trends. And maybe we have already covered this, the conversations that you think our industry should be having more often based on just the conversations you were having at the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think I noticed more conversations about building sustainable business versus treatments, I guess. And I think we should be having those conversations more often. And I think, like, just relating back to what you were just saying before, we should be talking about burnout, and we should be talking about boundaries and profitability and confidence and how we communicate with our clients, like all relating to how we can build sustainable business. Because in the end of the day, yes, the treatments are important and our niche is important, but your business has to stick around for you to keep doing that.
I say that all the time. You can have the best skincare line, the best equipment, the best, but if you don't know how to run a business, you don't get to use these fun things on anybody. And I don't think that is talked about enough. Like, how do you really build a business? And when you start to get these systems in place, it's not as hard as you think. It's actually, we have a pretty, Douglas Preston, speaking of Douglas, he said something to me at the Sorella Summit. He said, we take the easiest business in the whole world to run and we overcomplicate it. And that's my mission, for people to see how easy it is to run an
Yeah.
esthetician practice and build a big,
Well, and
beautiful life.
at the end of the day, these skincare brands and the brands that own these devices, their job is to educate you on the products, on the device, and how to do the treatment, and I think estheticians are really looking for help building their business, and they're kind of turning to these brands for business support, and in some ways the brands will do that for you, but that's, at the end of the day, it's not really what they're there for. And so they're only going to go so far with that. They only have the capability to go so far with that. So,
Yeah, I agree. It's why I have the Beauty Biz Club, because I was not getting how to run a business anywhere from any line or equipment or whatever. So it's available to you guys out there. We're getting ready to open the new memberships up again soon. But for now, you can head to Beauty Biz Club and get on the wait list, or you can reach out to Ida. You have a link to let people in the back door right now.
yeah.
For the show. Okay, so let's wrap things up today. I know we already talked a little bit about your role as the Sorella Apothecary ambassador. So maybe just let's wrap up that part of it. What makes that skincare line different to you? Because you can carry any line you want. Not only do you choose to carry and retail Sorella, you're a big part of supporting them in the retail space.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest differences with Sorella is that it was created by an esthetician, who was in spas, was in her own practice for many, many years. And so the ingredients are amazing, the formulations are amazing. It's barrier first skincare, which really resonates with me as an esthetician, and kind of like going back to that regenerative skincare. botanically based ingredients, but formulated to get your skin results. So from coming from that esthetician space, it's skincare that really shows you can have beautiful products that smell amazing, that feel amazing, and they still work.
They look
Um,
pretty. The bottles look pretty on the shelf. Your clients actually are drawn to them. This
mhm.
is like trying to pick your favorite child, probably for those people that are moms. But I can't pick one favorite Sorella product, but I can pick three and I'll share those. But you share yours.
Okay, my three favorite Sorella products. It kind of changes all the time because they're all my favorite, but um, the ones that I will be buried in are the blueberry milk moisturizer, the lip oil, and probably the apricot mango cleansing milk.
Okay. So mine are
Yeah.
totally different. Well, no, I think everyone, including my clients, is the avocado lip oil. I give that out to my clients for their birthday.
Yeah.
And you think I was giving them like a $10,000 gift. They get so excited for that lip oil. It's so good. But I am obsessed with their new French clay and PHA exfoliant. Like I use it in almost every single facial and it makes everybody look like they have beautiful glass skin. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And I will say that I am obsessed with their eye masks. There's nothing else like them on the market. So
Totally. Yeah, and the biocellulose sheet mask is really great too. I'm a little like, I'm not lazy with my skincare routine because I use 15 different products morning and night, but I'm not really a big like masker, put the mask on, take it off at home. I love that in a treatment, but the biocellulose sheet mask is awesome because it's just so easy. You can travel with it. You could even like
yeah.
pop it on an airplane if you needed to. And it increases your skin's hydration by 16.5% in 10 minutes. It's incredible.
And it lays flat on the skin, which a
Yes.
lot of them don't. You start talking and they're hanging off. You look like a horror film character. Theirs is just nice. And as a matter of fact, I have not been able to go to work for almost 2 weeks now because I had some stupid flu. But last night, my client was sending me a picture. She was doing that mask at home. And
Yeah.
was so excited. Look, Lori, I know I haven't been able to see you, but I am taking care of my skin at home. So clients love that one too.
Yeah, they really do.
All right. So I'm going to head right to the lightning round of fun questions to ask you. So, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Addicted or just for fun?
Addicted. Heavily.
Me too. All right. Favorite treatment room service to perform?
Right now, ProCell, but it's tied with the glacial gloss, which is the cryotherapy treatment, full facial.
Thank you for answering that question inside the club. Somebody was curious about that. So I
Yeah.
don't know if she reached out for more info, but this is how you can go to a trade show. This is the importance of having a community and esthetician friends. You can go to a trade show and you still leave there with questions and want to talk to somebody that's used these things in a treatment room. So thank
yeah.
you for helping her with that.
Of course.
One product, I know you said you do 15 in the morning and 15 at night, but one product you will never leave home without.
Okay, well, this is because I've been stuck at a hotel without my bag, so I will never leave my house without a cleanser. I mean, you don't want to be stuck not being able to wash your face.
So I will never leave my house without a toner because I feel like that can do everything, right? A treatment
True.
toner can wash your face. It can hydrate your skin. It can just give you a beautiful glow. So mine's a toner because I think you
That's
can use
true.
it like 30 different ways.
Yeah.
What is your favorite city for you to teach in? You travel all over with Sorella.
Yeah. I've been to so many awesome cities, but my favorite to teach in is honestly my home city of Denver. It's just like so cool to cultivate community close to home. And, I think I think we've talked about this, but just community over competition.
Yeah.
It's interesting for me sometimes to be educating spas right down the road on products that I also sell in my practice, but it's a great reminder that at the end of the day, helping other estheticians, no matter how close they are to you, it's always going to help build your business, and just creating community it's the bottom line.
I don't know if you've had a chance to listen. I've updated the welcome video inside the Beauty Biz Club. And I started with the story of when I became a flight attendant. And I remember this woman coming into our orientation room, and there were probably 1,000 newbie flight attendants in there. And she said, I want to share something with you. Today, you become a different person because you're going to have a language that nobody outside of this industry will ever understand. And I feel like that's part of the beautiful thing of having esthetician friends and people in your community is we get each other, and not everybody does,
Yeah, absolutely.
we have our own weird language, exosomes and extractions and all that kind of crazy
Chemical
stuff.
peels.
Yeah, nobody else cares. You have to get it. Although I do call Jay, is your significant other an esthetician by association?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Using your
He's well, the best is when I hear him talk when we're out and I hear him talking to somebody about all the treatments I do in the treatment room. He's like, "Oh, you need a dermaplane and a glacial gloss."
So he's your advertising agent now. That's awesome.
Oh, yes, fully.
I love that. I'm gonna have to train Jay in that. Not only is he my travel agent, he should be my advertising agent.
Totally.
Okay, so biggest business lesson that you've learned recently, maybe you learned at the show, I don't know, recently, what have you learned that you want to share with others?
Well, I don't know if it's recently, but it's been reinforced constantly. And I really think it's just protecting my energy. Protecting my energy, and it will always allow me to have more energy for my business. And it's hard to find that boundary and those lines. But I think it's really, really important to protect your energy and just bring it back to what you really want to feed into.
Mindset. I recorded a podcast yesterday. I stopped teaching mindset because somebody ripped on me online about
Really?
15 years ago. And I'm like, okay, this weekend, I decided to bring it back. So I have some podcast dropping because it's one of the most foundational things. We need to curate a healthy mindset to have a healthy business. And shame on me for letting somebody else's negative words hold back from who I really am. I practice mindset as much as I try to learn business skills and marketing and all of that stuff. So
Yeah, I mean it's definitely one of the hardest things to just kind of keep under control within yourself, right? Like there's all these external forces and people saying things, and then that self-doubt starts to creep in, and
yeah.
yeah.
And the truth is we get to choose the experience we want to have in this world, and working, reminding ourselves and having a healthy mindset is where that starts for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. One word to describe today's esthetician.
Well, I feel like I already said this, but I think resilient. I think we've been through so much. I mean, even going back to how we started this conversation, like opening my business during COVID, just I look back at that and I'm like, how did I make it through that? And it's because I just kept going. I just kept persevering, showing up, being resilient, not letting things knock me down for too long. And yeah, always coming back to it.
I think like the modern esthetician, because I just was looking at this, and the word that comes to mind for me is fun. Almost every esthetician I know is fun. Like, and I think you have to embody a little bit of that, or people don't get excited to come see you every month. But
Yeah,
fun.
I
I think
think,
estheticians are fun.
yeah. And I think you said this at probably more than once, but you're like, at the end of the day, we get to wash people's faces for a living, and it is fun. It's like, yeah, of course there's seriousness to owning a business, running a business, the industry, but like at the end of the day, it's not that serious. We're literally washing people's faces, and it's so awesome that we get to do that as a job.
I went to my treatment room yesterday. Like I said, probably 10 times during this podcast. I haven't been at work and I miss it so much, but I went in there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring home everything and wash it. Like the rug in my treatment room and the table skirt and all the good stuff. And I walked in there and I just stood there for a minute and I'm like, oh, it smells so good in here, even though I haven't been in here for 2 weeks. And the room looks so inviting and I can't wait to come back. Like it is a really special career that we get to have. So
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one last question.
Okay.
If every esthetician listening to this podcast, and people listen from all over the world, if they could leave today's conversation with one mindset shift, speaking of mindset, that would make their business stronger tomorrow. No pressure, Ida. What would you want that to be?
So I think it's being consistent with yourself. So I was thinking about this, and we tell our clients all the time, well, to get results from the skincare you use, you have to be consistent. And I think just like we tell our clients, we'll see results from consistency when we show up, when we continue to educate ourselves, and continue to be kind to ourselves, because it's not always the most talented esthetician that builds a lasting business. It's the ones that consistently show up. And so I think just that mindset shift of consistency with ourselves will change your business tomorrow. Like I definitely don't feel like showing up every day, but I know that if I'm consistent, I'll get the results that I want.
I think that's one of the first things that I remember from you joining the Beauty Biz Club is you got the Growth Bank Journal. And you said, this is so weird, but I look forward, it's changing my life and my business because I look forward to mapping out my success every week now. So consistent and having those moments where you actually look forward to being consistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If they want to follow you on social, how do they find you on Instagram?
I'm at Glow with Ida on everything. GLOWWITHIDA. Glowwithida.com. And now I'm part of the Beauty Biz Club. So I'm really excited to start doing some coaching with the Beauty Biz Club and with Lori. So
awesome. Well, we're super thrilled to have you. People like you, estheticians like you, are the reason that the Beauty Biz Club exists and is helping others become top earning in the industry. So we're excited to have you on board. Thanks for being here today, Ida.
Thank you, Lori.
Thanks for tuning in to the Beauty Biz Show. I hope the episode has left you feeling inspired to build the beauty biz of your dreams. As always, we appreciate your kind reviews as it helps us attract amazing guests to be interviewed. Also, be sure to give me a follow on Instagram at Lori_BeautyBiz and SpaStar_Lux. If you'd like to know more about how we can work together, visit beautybizclub.com, where we are busy helping estheticians create outrageously abundant careers.